How's everybody doing, guys? Welcome to Trade Confident. I didn't get a video out this morning because me and my wife did officially deliver our baby boy last night about 2 a.m. The time that we actually went to bed was the time that I actually normally record videos, so I wasn't able to get one out. Probably won't be able to do one the next 2 days, but Thursdays when I plan on being back here every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, take the weekends off. If I can squeak in a video like this, guys, I will. I had a quick moment here. My wife's like, hey, you should update the Trade Confident group. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Okay, guys, we're going to go over the charts here, and then we're going to look over the metrics. We're going to look over the emotional index. We're going to look over the long and short trades. I definitely want to show you guys something on there. Take a look at the risk, the well and institutional smart money. We're going to look at support and resistances. We're also going to look at some exit points that have been coming out. So very good video. And then we're going to end this video with the best next trade setup for ADA that I currently have in my exchange for Coinbase. So let's dive in here. This trade did end up taking out the last profit that we ended up taking was 48.97%. So that is what you see in the thumbnail here, 48.97. Now let me explain that to you guys of how I ended up doing this. This trade basically took about $5,000 worth, and I ended up splitting it into 4 equal sections. It was about $1,250 per entry. And what I ended up doing is I ended up having a buy limit here. I had another buy limit, close, I think, to about 150. I had $1 and then below there. So basically 4 different buy limits. Only the first one got hit. And so what I ended up doing is once we started making profit here, I then ended up scaling out here. I sold 50% of the whole basically the position at 223, and then I ended up selling out another position here. I have no idea why this is pink, guys. Sorry, this is driving me nuts. I have to change this to yellow. I don't know why I defaulted there. So I ended up taking out 50% here, and then ended up taking out another 25% at 247, and then I ended up taking out the last 25% at $2.86. So I'm completely out of this trade, and you guys can see that if we come over to Coinbase here, you guys will see all the filled positions. There you guys go. All the settlements for ADA got taken out. My goal on this was to get between $500 to $1,000, so I'm very pleased at how this turned out. I believed it was managed really, really well. And yeah, I'm really I'm proud of myself. I know that probably sounds weird to you guys to hear me say that on videos, but I'm really proud of myself. I know we ended up hitting all-time highs. We could have dropped really fast, so I was scaling out on the way up, and we could keep going higher here, but I feel like we did a really good job on this. So let's go over this. We're going to go over the indicators here of where I expect to see Cardano go, and then we're going to look at the overall metrics. So I want obviously to point this out to you guys. Looking at the trend exhaustion, we are in the top red section here, where we historically do see moves back down in the market. Now, if we're just going to pull out a few here, I'm not going to get too long on this video because I actually I'm going to head back to the hospital. I'm at the house right now recording this in the office. But when we look at this in the top red sections here, we do see that when we start getting into this trending movement, this is historically where we do end up seeing nice moves back down in the market. So when we see moves back down in the market, it just says, you know what? We need to be ready for that higher low to form and get picked up on our next buy limit. So that is honestly my call for this video, is really for us to look at the metrics here, but then get a look at what's the next buy limit that I'm actually going to be entering into, and then being able to be picked up on this. I'm not going to market order into this. This thing is super high. I'm not going to place any market orders right now. So let's go over the metrics, okay? All right, let's start at the top here. This update's at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is going to be in the morning. It's 5:30 at night right now. Okay, the emotional index, we are definitely up here in the excited and the greedy section. So whenever I see this, it just clearly tells me, look into the past. We haven't been up here for a long time. Even when we hit this really high peak up here of the all-time high, basically 250 is what we can call that. Come back up here, show this to you guys. So 250 was basically the all-time high up here, close enough. And so what I'm looking at here is basically just an overextension in the market, and I am looking for a nicer higher low formation to form to see this move back down. Taking a look at this, I want you guys to pay attention here very closely. We are seeing short trades increase quite drastically over long trades. I know this doesn't look like a lot on the chart, but it is something to be watching here. Long trades are moving out while short trades are moving up. So this does tell me that there are bears out there looking to short this thing, and it totally makes sense. Like, it is very overextended here. I know a lot of indicators and metrics are looking at this saying, hey, I don't think this can go too much higher. Well, we're kind of seeing the strict money flow show us the exact same thing. All right, guys, let's look at long and short trade risk. If you're looking at a long trade or a short trade, it's definitely looking like we're pushing up here to the good short trade, or even actually getting close to the great short trade. We didn't quite peak up into the great short trade yet, but I think we'll get there pretty close, and we might actually hit that tomorrow morning. Let's keep going here, and then we'll finish up this video. Well, in institutional smart money, but this is really interesting. I was pointing this out to you guys on ADA. When you guys see this right here, when you start seeing short trade sentiment drastically fall out of the market, it is where the whales are looking to place their long positions versus short positions. And they're obviously buying this dip really nicely right here. And then they ended up riding this up. Okay. Something I am seeing though, which I'm expecting from this, is we're looking at short trade sentiment to enter back into the market to maybe short this out. And yes, this metric is holding true because we see that on-chain data is actually showing us from the exchanges that we are seeing an increase in short power over in the market right now. So bears are looking to try to short this out, but we are also not seeing, an increase in long positions. So if the next few days, if I'm not able to cover this on the videos for you guys, if long trades start heading down and short trades keep increasing, this is obviously a bearish sentiment in the market. Okay, let's go down here. Support and resistance prices. If we start crashing, where's the next place that we're looking for an entry? Well, if we take a look at this, we're sitting around the psychological quarters theory level of $2.25. So let's mock this up real quick. $2.25 puts, and remember that is on the daily time frame. So it puts us right around here. This is this structure high right there. Now, wait till the end of this video. I'll show you guys the setup of where I have my first buy limit, but then you guys will understand this a little bit better of why I placed it where I placed it. Okay, let's go down here a little bit further. Dollar cost average entries. If you guys got into any of these down here, this is basically for all my diamond hand guys that are watching this. Those of you who got into any of those trades while I've been having this YouTube channel, you guys threw money in there. You're doing incredibly well right now, and great job on the skyrocket move if you got into those. Okay, exit points. This is a nice little signal that came out right here, just warning us like, hey, you know what? All-time high. If your indicator is not going to give you a signal that we could possibly drop at an all-time high, it should. This is definitely a place where we were overextended in the market. Someone could call a double top in here and we could start heading down very quickly. So I was looking at this. This is also a reason why I did end up exiting some of my position here that you can see at 247, close to that 250 mark. And again, guys, I'm using these metrics over here. I haven't lost a trade on this channel yet. And I believe it's because of the really good risk management and the metrics here. Okay, guys, last thing we're gonna do, we'll end this video. You guys can come over here to the pricing. It's $49 a month to access all of the metrics here, and then go over to live trades. And I'll give you guys the next trade setup right now. Coming over to Cardano live trading, this is the first entry I'm looking at here, 251. So let me come back over here and I'll show this to you guys. Make sure you're setting up the rest of the buy limits in there. But 251 places us right about here on the chart, okay? It's looking at the second structure high here. So we have this first structure and then we have the second structure. I know it's really small. If you go to the lower time frames, you'll see that it's a second structure high because we do have a low, a high, a higher low, and forming this higher high. So right around this area is where I'm looking for a nice pullback for ADA. Now, if we pull back to there, we could start seeing a pump back up. Now, let me show this to you as well. If you guys take out a trend line right here and you pull this trend line, you can see here that it's nicely correlated to this trend line bounce as well. So we could see, move back. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me say that over again. They would need to break the ascending trend line. If it does, I think we could get into this around this 251 mark very nicely, and then we could start shooting back up here. So that's where I'm currently at. I know some people could argue in here, maybe pushing it a little bit higher up into this mark of like 270 because that would be a trend line bounce. I just think at the moment, if this thing does start moving down pretty quickly, I don't want to be, getting really high positions up here. I'd rather just be patient for this to move back down, just like all of us were very patient. I know a lot of people made money during this and we were holding out, but we were patient. We got in at the bottom here and we rode it all the way up, at the top position, exiting at 48.97%. So that is a full update for you guys. Make sure you are picking up the trend exhaustion, the price versus the well money flow, and the trend dashboard. They are all in the description. If you guys don't want to go to the description, that's totally fine. Just come over to the indicators tab on tradeconfident.io, and then you guys can get any of these indicators. If you want to buy 4 or more of these, just shoot me an email, and I'll give you guys a little extra discount because it's something fun I like to do for you. All right, guys, have an amazing day. I will try to come out with videos on Thursday, but give me a little grace period here over the next couple days. I'm going to try to answer all the emails that are coming in. So I want to give you guys an update on ADA. Good job for everybody who's in here, who exited with me. We did incredibly well, in my opinion, and we're just ready for the next trade setup. Subscribe, turn the bell notifications on for the next trade, and make sure you guys have your membership over at tradeconfident.io. God bless you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.